大家晚上好，欢迎来到今天晚上的主题。那因为今天 Josh 老师出差，所以今天主讲的导师是 Raena 老师，所以我们现在来欢迎Raena 老师来教大家怎么样做精准的解读。So let's welcome Raena，耶！
Yay! Good evening, everyone. So happy to see all of you. Thank you for being here. It's going to be a great evening. Thanks for turning on your camera. That was so thoughtful of you. But before I begin, may I scan all of you?
可以。
Thank you. Let's walk up to the creator of all that is. Everybody close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and gather all the energy from the bottoms of your feet. Go through your space and see yourself in a beautiful ball of light. Take it up through the sky and the universe, a series of white lights, dark lights, and golden light, all the way up through that jelly-like substance and into that tingly white light. Let unconditional love fill all of the cells of your body. Aren't you there, sir creator? Thank you for my life. Take a deep breath in and open your eyes. Today, we get to talk about how to do readings. Pretty exciting because I love doing readings. At one point, I didn't actually like doing readings. I was really nervous. I thought it was going to just basically kill me to do readings because I thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? And I was really just thinking from not my heart and connecting creator. I was thinking from my mind, how do I take care of these people sitting in front of me to the best of my ability? And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to make sure that you know exactly the things that are really just going to help you connect with your clients, students, and even do your own belief work. So one of the things I like to do first is I like to really ground myself. I like to make sure that everything is in the now, because we have so many things that are going on all the time, that we can be in the future, in the past. We're always thinking, we're always doing things. And if we just take a few minutes to just really truly breathe, center ourselves, and really just be in the now, that really makes all those distractions that are constantly going all the time clear. And then, of course, I like to clean that energetic field that we have going on in my space, just to be like, okay, let's make sure everything's cleared. That really helps my nervous system to stay receptive. Those deep breaths, again, always make me prepare for whatever it is that's going to go on, because sometimes we forget to breathe. We get so busy and that stress really just takes over everything that we're doing that we no longer breathe. I mean, that's why we have breatharians these days. That's why they have jobs, which is amazing. But because we aren't breathing, sometimes we forget that it's a good time to really just center ourselves. And then, of course, we can always connect to that creator. Biggest part about this is creator. Walk yourself up, center yourself, recognize and clear your space of any waywards, download your area, whatever it is that makes you feel the most confident in your moment that you're going to be there, whether that's have your essential oils, whether you have crystals, whatever it is that's going to help you in your area to make you feel most confident. And then, of course, you're going to introduce yourself to your client if you've never done that before, and then ask them if you can work with them. Always having the permission is one of the most key things to working with your clients. And then walk them up. Make sure that you ask them about their ball. That way you can see if you're connected. Ask them the color. Kind of gives you that information about really if you're connecting in the same regard as they are. And then you can see, okay, creator, really quickly, how do I get to where they're at and making sure that you're connected on that same level. Then, of course, asking permission to scan them. When you scan them, of course, you're doing it in a really fast manner, not leaving your energy inside their body as you're scanning, because if you remember, if you do it really quickly, you're not going to be tired and your client's not going to be tired either. So there's that that we all know about. That's so great. And of course, we're going to see 1 to 2 great things in their heart and tell them how great they are. We, as we walk around life, can see all the negative things constantly that are going on, or things that are not working for us. Sometimes it can be such downtrodden times that we forget how great we are, and we are truly amazing people. And I think that hearing just those things alone can really open up our heart chakra and our center and allow not only for the moment to be filled with compassion, but that unconditional love that each of you desires. And then, of course, when you connect, you can also know that there are things like, as you read and scan, that you pick up on. You can pick up on things like colors or emotions or sensations, because everything that happens within that body, you're picking up on things about that person. Like, does their heart or their energy field feel open? Are they contracted? Are they tight? Are they tense? And you just ask Creator, what beliefs and programs are being seen at this point in time? And what imbalances are they really needing? And you probably already do this in your sessions already, just quickly without even recognizing it's what you do. You're asking what virtues are they wanting? What are they needing in this moment? And trying to make sense of the interpretation of what you're picking up on, because there's so many things going on in their body. You could pick up on anything. They could be working on something that, it has to do with just the body. It could be something that could be mental. There's so many things. And let Creator show you the images, whether that's in words or imagery or sensations. But whatever you do, don't overthink it. Don't analyze it. Just witness it. And know that the interpretation is going to come, because everybody, every object, every situation, it's like an energetic signature. And you're looking at it from that perspective. You don't want to see what's wrong with the person, because that's not quite what we're looking to do. We're trying to find out and listen what they need and what they want, and then witness it from a place of really alignment. When you're connected, you observe through that resonance, that feeling, that inner knowing. And before you start, remind yourself, I don't need to figure this all out. I only need to witness exactly what the Creator is showing me right now. And this shift really just allows you to stay in that divine neutrality. It's just without those judgments, no agenda, no, just presence. And that really allows for it to flow the way that you want it to. Because if you're analyzing it, it's like you're contracting it. You're like, oh, okay, it has to be a certain way. But if you're allowing it to just witness, it just flows and it just almost expands out, and you're feeling each other's energy, almost like a mirror to each other. And we all communicate differently. We know this. We talk about this all the time. You've heard Josh. He talks about how we are all unique. We're all our own person. We're our own language. The same thing is happening when you're witnessing the person in front of you and scanning them and understanding the language with which you speak with Creator. You're interpreting everything that is coming in as a language, and each person has their own primary, maybe one or two, could be all of them, could be more prominent, but we all have our own intuitive senses that we can develop, of course, into more, but that we have, main ones. There's, of course, the clairvoyance, which is that seeing, and it's like colors, images, shapes, like symbols, movies, like, things that you could see, maybe ancestor memories, things like that. And then there's that clairessence. It's the one where you feel those physical, emotional, those things that are really deep. Maybe you feel like warmth or sensation or tingly feelings or pressure. And sometimes you feel those feelings so strongly, if you have this, that you pick up on the emotions that aren't even yours. This one's always happens with people that have this sort of sense. And then, of course, there's audio, where you have hearing, clairaudience, and you hear from Creator words, or you have names or phrases or songs or sounds. All those things are something that that you're picking up on. And there's this other one that I like to talk about, which is called claircognizance. And it's like that real knowing, that belief that it's just that cognitive instant awareness that you just understand the process that just has already happened. Like, this is it. I know what it is. You don't second guess it. It just appears in those intuitive senses. And then when those things come in, pause, think about it, and ask intentionally, what does this mean? What am I trying to interpret it here? So that you get a simple, clear, and loving answer. Okay, here's what it is. Here's what's happening, so that you can interpret it the way that it's meant to be for the person sitting in front of you. When you're doing a scanning or reading, you may see things that are in like a perceived distinct level of energy, kind of like maybe, let's say, like a physical layer, where you pick up on things like they feel tense, or sensation, or pain, or the vitality in their body. You can always ask, what is the body trying to communicate right now? So that you can help the person sitting in front of you. Sometimes they don't even know that they're letting off those types of vibes or that energy to be picked up on in their body. Or maybe it's an emotional layer where they have some sort of emotions that you're picking up that's stored in, the current feelings that they have going on. Maybe they have sadness, you can feel it in their heart, or fear, or maybe they have relief. Whatever it is, just ask what event or moment is you're picking up on that is coming from this right now. There may be a mental layer, when there's like thoughts or beliefs or overthinking, or my biggest one, repeated loops. This one we can see constantly. It's where the mind is overactive or critical or confused because it keeps doing those loops over and over and over again. Those are those patterns that we are always digging for to find that bottom layer. And of course, there's always that spiritual layer where we have those soul lessons or virtues. And that's where you ask, what is this person learning today? What virtues are they trying to harness and activate? And you can move through them pretty easily in a way that just allows that frequency to feel like in a sensation like density or lightness or movement. But instead of asking what the issue is, like there's something wrong, ask what patterns are sustaining this energy. Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. But these patterns, they're like a code of sequence, really. Because if you look at them, they're so, that's just like a loop. There are different things going through events. Kind of like, for example, if you are 3 years old and you want something from your family, like attention. And so you've decided that you're going to get mad. And so you have anger, and it works. Your parents give you attention. So then you do it again, and it anchors something into your subconscious. And you go, aha, if I just use anger, it's the greatest and best way to get attention. So then fast forward to now in adulthood, and you're using anger, but that anger isn't really serving you. We're utilizing you to get all this attention, but now you're using it in different ways. Because as we know, anger can be utilized from ways that, use our adrenals, and we can be sapping our adrenals. It's no longer allowing us to work in a way that we want to. And now we're using anger to motivate us to work out, but all of those things are in a way not working for us in the way that we wanted to. And they're loops that we really have patterns of. So once you see those type of loops, you just ask Creator, show me the moment that originated, so that you can find that bottom belief. And I'm sure that you all do this, but this is breaking it down so that because you're probably also quick, you just do it and you're like, I just take me to that bottom belief. Now here's where you pause and you let the client do all the work. All you're doing is just asking the questions. How is this serving you? What does this do? Where did this come from? And then always give them choice, allowing them to really be led and guided from that connection that you have through Creator. And when you have that deep connection of that seventh plane, that information should feel gentle and deep, yet certain. You'll know, allowing yourself that if there's anything that comes up that's like judgment or fear, then we're probably not in the seventh plane. So we just have to go higher. Because allowing us to witness things really doesn't feel heavy. It feels light, and it's relaxing and calm and peaceful. But if you do feel those things, just take a pause, realign, and connect yourself. There's nothing wrong with pausing. Close your eyes and connect. It just takes 2 seconds for you to go back up to that seventh plane and ask. Give yourself some downloads. You can see it through unconditional love. And then that energy should just lift really, really instantly, allowing you to have that connection. Because we want to do this from compassion and communicate in a way, in a manner that speaks with love, kindness, gentleness, not authority. That just kind of makes it go out the window. And how we say things really has everything to do with it. Let's say that you, for example, say, let me think about this one. How about we say something like, you have anger in your field? But instead, we can say something like, I'm being shown attention that feels like anger. It may be protecting something that's underneath. Maybe that feels a little bit lighter. Or instead of saying, you're blocking your heart chakra, you could say something like, Creator is showing me that your heart is learning how to feel more open, or something. Ask Creator what to say. Every reading is unique, and you want it to feel empowering, not diagnosing. So identifying when the person sitting in front of you is learning patterns, it's wanting to learn and has learned from patterns, is the best way to recognize what's really happening. And of course, we all seem to be working on virtues. So when we ask for these different virtues to pop up, we just ask, all right, Creator, what virtue are they working on? Comes to mind, all these different ones. Could be faith, acceptance, sovereignty, whatever it is. Ask the client. Ask them what they're working on. Ask them, guide them to go up to Creator and find out what virtue they're working on. That way that they're able to help, you're able to go in that session and help master that as they're working together. And as you know, Creator is the healer. We are just witnesses. And the goal is for us to allow that unconditional love to really flow through us while we're doing that reading. So when they say that yes, we can really unlock our cell receptors. Witnessing is really, truly such a divine observation. I feel like it just really activates that creation energy and just shifts those beliefs and feelings and patterns in such a way that feels so aligned, and it feels so great. You get to be this conduit. How cool is that you get to be this conduit for that connection of Creator and help everybody that you work with. It's a client, even when you're not even having, a session. You could be out doing things in the store. You could be out, anywhere. It could be your children's school, whatever it is, but you could be a mirror of light. And just witnessing and having this energy of, I see you. Let me hold space for you. It just feels so encompassing in this warmth of love. And it allows people to change, allows them to feel that unconditional love, that they're being held and really in this blanket of warmth. And that frequency is such an alignment that allows that, not only that sensation of warmth, but that rushing of kind of like a light sensation for both of you. Maybe a soft wave of tinglies or peace. And then those old beliefs and patterns, they dissolve so much easier when they can feel that sense of being held, holding that space, and knowing that that shift simply has just completed. But if you doubt ever that shift has totally completed, just walk up and ask, Creator, show me, has it completed? And you'll get it. And if you feel calm, a sense of peace, and it will be instant, of course, you'll know that's your confirmation. It's your confirmation for anything when you're having those type of moments, to really know that anything in your life is meant for you or aligned when you have that peace and calm. Those are two of the most things to help yourself know and witness, and your clients to know. But some of the things we want to make sure that we talk about is also avoiding when we're witnessing. You don't want to try to just fix the moment. And the moment that you start to try to move out of that creation frequency and into effort, we have totally missed the point of what we're doing. We're no longer that conduit for that alignment. And analyzing what we see from our mind and just trying to make it basically work through what we've done, that takes patterns and our own frequencies of what we've already gone through and from our times, our places, ancestor beliefs, and everything that we have going on within us, rather than that connection of love. And we want it to be just witnessing from pure observation and almost like that words of the creation coming through you. Let's say that we also want to try to avoid projecting emotions. We want to hold with compassion, but stay neutral, because we don't want to carry their pain for them. We want to allow everything that goes on for that creation energy to do it, that seventh plane. Let creator do everything. Don't take it on. Send it up to creator. Let that unconditional love just flow through you. That's why we call it conduit. And then know when to stop. When you feel like you're over witnessing, you know when that completion is. And if you have a problem going and continuing on more than you should, you'll know, because it will be like, you'll feel it. You're like, oh, I think I went over a little bit. That is just belief work that needs to be done within yourself to see why you feel like you need to overly do it. It happens. It's okay. I've done it too, where you just feel like you want to help so much. And you're like, but I want to, okay, I don't need to help you go through the whole, every part, take away the pain and everything. That's why I say these things. We want to try to avoid all those things when being the witness. And of course, we can always give everybody downloads. Downloads is a big thing, not only for ourselves, but for the people, because that's that subconscious, that if that we're changing, that command that determines that behavior. It's kind of like updating that emotional code, those things that we have going on, things that we haven't really, and we don't have receptors for yet, and we're just updating it. And on that cellular level, when we're shifting everything, of course, I like to think that there are all different types of downloads, but I really kind of, when thinking about this, I think there's a few of different types of downloads, and I wrote down some of them, but I think there's there's one that's a virtue download, when everybody needs virtues, and we all need virtues. We're all working on that to really try to master those, like faith or compassion, integrity, freedom, whatever it is. Those are all incredible downloads that you can give that people can use. Or there's the emotional definition, like, I know what love means, or I understand safety. Those are great downloads for emotions. Or there's the practical ability, like, I know how to express boundaries with grace. Practical. Spiritual truths, like, I am always connected with creator's love. I'm worthy of miracles. Spiritual truths. And how about physical downloads? Like, my body knows how to heal in harmony with that unconditional love. Those are all ones that, of course, there's so many more, but those are just ones that, we can always use as a reference for downloads, because those are all different, unique ones that everybody needs in different times and places when we're with our clients. So just to recap, when we go through this of our sequence, of course, number one is we want to identify that belief and pattern. Remembering to connect, remembering to make sure that we're in a space that we know that we can be that conduit. And then there's that digging. Digging always takes us being there as a guide, allowing choice. Choice is the biggest thing, allowing them to figure out where they want to go and those blocks, because there's so many different places they could go to. It could be this direction or that direction, whatever it is. When we see that bottom belief, we want to allow them that choice. And then, of course, that request the creator to change everything and just being that witness. Whether that's completing oaths, vows, washing soul fragments, whatever it is, every time is unique. And then, of course, asking creator to show us when it's completed, or just having that sense of knowing that it's completed, whatever it is within you. And one of the things I really like to do is I always love to thank Creator at the end, because I think that's just one of the biggest things ever, of course, to have gratitude, because it allows more gratitude and things to show up in your life. And then I ask my clients the biggest and most important ever question: how do you feel? They'll tell you. If they have more things that need to be worked on, they'll let you know. But you also may see clues. They may have like visual clues that you experience. Like they may have a smile, they may have a deep exhale. Ah, that's always a nice one. Or you might see laughter or tears or that new stillness or calm or peace come over them. Their body instantly shows that immediate shift in their posture, their lightness. It's almost like you can see it in their aura. Their face starts to glow. But if you do have a question of whether or not it actually has changed, go up and ask Creator, show me the change. Show me that it's completed. And you'll always get that answer and know. And of course, I always encourage all of my clients and whoever I'm working with to recognize the things that are going on afterwards. When we change beliefs and we get through there and we've changed things and we've changed the patterns, sometimes we have things that we have habits of doing. So we want to make sure that we recognize the body awareness of afterwards and the new frequency that comes in, and recognizing that their old habits will need to be changed. So probably avoiding things like old environments or conversations in the same way. That doesn't mean don't go back to your house or hang out with your friends. That just means recognize the patterns and behaviors with which you kept those beliefs in place. Usually things will change, but one of the things that can be kind of challenging is our nervous system. Our nervous system is so used to these patterns that sometimes it will recreate these things just so that we can feel safety, so that we can feel love, so that we don't feel like we're going to be harmed. Some of those things and those patterns will come back up and people will ask, well, how come I recreated it? This is why, because our nervous system is trying to learn how to redo patterns. Oftentimes we think that that's our fault because we didn't do a good enough job as the practitioner and working on our clients. That's not the case. It has a lot to do with the things that are going on with their nervous system. They're just learning a new pattern, and that habits have to change. Recognize that you're doing a great job, and then know that those reactivation of that previous loop is possible if they don't change new things. And then, of course, in the end, I always like to check my own energy after I thank my client, let them go. And I like to make sure I check my own space. How do I feel? Do I feel more energized? Do I feel like I've really put myself in a place that feels like I utilized that seventh plane energy rather than my own energy? You'll know right away whether or not you use your own energy or that seventh plane, because you'll feel more energized. You'll feel more calm. You'll feel more peace. And that will give you the clue that really helps you utilize and understand things that are going on. And of course, if I need to, I give myself downloads, or I make sure I zip up, clear my space. And I always just say that gratitude. I love gratitude. I think it's one of the best things. You hear Brandy all the time. She's always about attitude of gratitude. It really does bring in and allow more space for things to come and resonate into your life, like more clients. And I always want to make sure that I say my thankfulness and my gratitude for my clients, because it's such an honor to be able to witness and be a part of their lives. I couldn't be more grateful for all of the clients that I get to work with, because we get to have that exchange and I get to witness all of the changes that they have. And I think that's incredibly honoring. What is also honoring is that I get to be here with you today. And I'm so grateful that I got a chance to do that. And I'm so grateful for the interpreter. Thank you so much, Yaya. You're so sweet. I love you. You're just amazing. And thank you, Anne, for having me here, and for all the people that have showed up today. You're truly amazing.
Yes, it's really great. Yeah, I enjoy the talk. Yeah, it's very, very high vibration. Thank you so much.
Thank
谢
you.
谢 Josh 跟Josh is off today. Raena，谢谢
Yeah,
Raena
yeah.
老师。You know,
Yay, we get to have
so
you today.
their book is coming out next year, and the cards，它有那个牌卡跟书，明年会出版。So please keep following Josh and Raena. Thank you, and let's take a picture. You look so beautiful
Too.
today.
Oh,
One,
thank you.
two,
Same here.
three. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, and I love
Thank you,
those
Yao
hearts.
Yao.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey, Yao Yao. And thank you, everyone. And we'll see you next month. We love you. Bye bye.